Hey everybody, this is Jason, and sorry for the circles under my eyes. I was up playing World of Warcraft kind of late. Anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know that I have a first experience with my, gardening and butterfly kind of promotion efforts. And so I wanted to show you just a few little clips and let you know about that, and maybe give you a tip or two on how you can do it for yourself if you choose to support the butterflies in this manner. So check this out here. I'm going to start with the herb garden that we planted this year at my house. Okay, so first actually, before I show you the herbs, these are just some Verbenas, which are really very high nectar producing annuals. I mean, I bought mostly purple ones this year. I didn't see a lot of the red ones, but look how just like brightly beautiful these are. And I was reading an article recently about how, if you're annoyed by their lack of perennial return every year, the color they add and just their hardiness and the amount of nectar they produce makes up for the fact that they have to be replanted. But there's a little area that came with the house here, this little fenced-in area in the back of the yard, and we just chose to put a bunch of various herbs back here, mostly some parsley and cilantro and dill and some fennel. And not only are these good, obviously, to use for cooking and so forth, but these are some of the primary herbs that swallowtail butterflies and some various butterfly species will use to lay their eggs on and use for their reproduction cycle. And so I also have some in my aunt's backyard, a few houses down, that I put more just kind of toward the back of the house. And this little zone, like I said, is kind of fenced in, separate from the rest of the yard, is where we picked to put these herbs. And we might have put them a little bit close because they can grow rather large, but this is our first year doing herbs. And so I will show you one at my aunt's house, and so I can kind of lead you through the story from there. Okay, so I actually decided to show you the back yard of my aunt's house, just 3 houses down from mine. Got some echinacea plants, and actually one of my favorite plants slash flowers. These are just the tuberosa variety of milkweed, or the butterfly weed as they call it, which have these really beautiful orange flowers that bloom usually in May and June and through the summer, and one of the favorites for monarchs to lay their eggs on and for the caterpillars to eat. It's a lot of other really good pollinator friendly plants that are going to grow toward the back. And then to stick to the herb theme, I'm trying to speak really clearly because when I'm tired I mumble a lot. Like I said, I didn't sleep a lot. But back to the end of the yard here, I put a bunch of dill. You can see that they're not grown very big yet. Some garden sage back there, some parsley, and some fennel and so forth. And so they say to try to protect your dill plants and fennel plants from strong wind if possible, because when they get to be a little taller, the stalks can break if the wind is too strong. But all right, I'm going to take you to this specific dill plant and keep the video rolling from there. Okay, so I'm now in the front of my aunt's house, and I just decided to put one dill plant here, and you probably can't see it actually. It's this. There's the main stalk and bottom of the plant, and then it's just got this very not very necessarily healthy looking full plant. There's almost nothing to it other than the bottom of the plant itself, right? And so I'm going to show you why that was the case. We only have a little bit of it left, and I found it like this yesterday. It wasn't really that big. It was, again, one that we just planted recently, but it was reduced to this small little tiny plant that's going to have to regrow itself. Okay, I'm not a trained detective by any means, but we did see the aftermath of something that happened to that dill plant. And I'm going to show you what my research has led me to, what my very basic detective work showed me. When I looked at that plant yesterday, we found this caterpillar, which is in fact a swallowtail caterpillar, so that will turn into a swallowtail butterfly. This is the first one. I was saying at the beginning of the video that this is the first experience I've had in kind of my efforts to be helpful to the butterflies of Texas. And so that caterpillar was on the small dill plant and had just decimated it and left only just almost nothing there other than the bottom of the plant. And so what I did is I put some of the dill plants that I've got that are not planted in this protective little habitat here, and I had to put that book on it because it's super windy this spring in Texas so far, and I didn't want this to get knocked over. But yeah, I put a few of them in there up next to each other so that this caterpillar would have plenty to eat. Hey, thanks for checking out those little herb gardens that we made. Like I said, they're not that hard to do. I was reading some articles that dill and fennel and some of those types of herbs actually are not easy to transplant because they have a very strong taproot that you can bother and maybe discourage it from growing very well from that point, and that it's better to plant dill and fennel from seed if you can. And a lot of people that I know do, and it's really successful for them. But I was a little bit impatient this year and wanted to try to help the swallowtails, so we planted some of the ones you can get at just any kind of Lowe's or Walmart. Interestingly, if you don't want to think that Walmart can sell you good plants, the same company that sells to the other kind of big box retailers that are more known for their garden centers, it's the same company. I think it's Bonnie's that sells to the ones here in Texas most of the time. And so those plants are actually just fine. If you're careful with them and just look out for the roots, I think that they're probably gonna, at least most of them, make it. So thank you everybody out there who is interested in supporting your local butterfly populations because of loss of habitat. Of course, as many species suffer because of human encroachment, it's good for us to try to fill our spaces with some of the things that help them in their reproductive cycle, and just for them to continue to build strong numbers and add some beauty to the world. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching again. If you have any questions, feel free to throw it in the comments. And if I know an answer to it, I will certainly lend you a hand. And hey, even if you guys are trying to do this and don't have the money for maybe some of those little mesh habitats, if I have some extra ones, I'm more than happy to send that to some of you if I've got some laying around I'm not using. Because I'm going to stock up actually, because I've planted so many things this year, I might need some extras. And so if you need some, let me know, and I'd be happy to help you guys out. Like I said, you can find those on Amazon, and they work great. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching again, and keep doing good work.